Hi there! Welcome to my page. My name is Emmie of Emmie Evolving. If this is the first time you've ever come here, you're in for a treat. If this is your first time, please do subscribe, hit that notification button, comment, share, whatever it is they do here on YouTube land. Let's do it. Today, we are going to be talking about indigos. 24 signs that you are an indigo. First, what in the world is an indigo? We don't know. We do know. An indigo possesses a very specific range of energetic arrangements, and most are born with the capability of activating 12 DNA strands or more. We actually have 48 DNA strands. Most of these strands are etheric, energetic in nature. We have 2 physical strands that science has discovered. That double helix is more than double. So, indigos, they come from a very specific soul family lineage. That soul family is the Melchizedek family. Melchizedek is not a priesthood, although there is a priesthood called Melchizedek. Melchizedek itself is not a priesthood. Melchizedek is the audible tonation of this sound frequency. It's a band of energy that produces the audible sound of Melchizedek. and they also occupy the visible frequency of blue. Now, blue has different fluctuations, but blue is blue. No matter what shade of blue is still blue. So that's what the indigo children are from. They're from the Melchizedek family line, and they're also blue. Their aura looks indigo. It was discovered that people from this wave of souls incarnating, typically from, I believe it was like 60s, 70s, 80s. It really tapered off in the 80s. There were a few stragglers that were born in the 90s, but that was around the time frame these souls came in. So today we're going to talk about the 24 characteristics that help you to realize you are blue-ray. No, indigo. And you guys, I just looked at the clock. It is 1:11 p.m. Okay. This talk needed to mother fluffin' happen. So it's happening. So not all of the indigos, just want to add this as a little tidbit, not all of the indigos remained indigo. A good portion of them opted to go ahead and continue the ascension process and turn into crystal and rainbow children. Some are even making that ascent, that rise in frequency over to the diamond ray children. Okay. So what does that all mean? We'll get into that. Maybe in another video, maybe in this one, we'll see. Okay, we shall see. We shall definitely see. So first, what are they here to do? Indigos are the mother fluffing warriors. They're warriors. They have a warrior's heart. They are here as system busters. System busters. They're here to dismantle with compassion or force, whatever the heck's needed. They're here to dismantle the current paradigm. The paradigm that we're currently participating in pretty much promotes separation. It promotes suffering. That's not what we're here to do. We're not here to divide and suffer. We're here to reunify. We're here to rise up together as a collective whole, to get one step closer in our return trip back home to our greatness. And so that's what indigos came here to do. The crystal and rainbow children are very sensitive. And so the indigos came before them to kind of, make sure that this place is not going to be too harsh. It's still a little too harsh, but you know, it works out. It works out. So the Indigos came, they did their job. They're now of age. Some of them are in places of power, places of leadership or authority. And, you know, we're shifting. We are shifting the tide. Yes, we're shifting the tide. Okay. So now we're finally going to get into the 24 characteristics that I've been hyping up, or not really hyping up, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm trying to get at. We're going to get into that right now. Okay. So you're probably wondering, well, you know, I was born around that time. Am I an indigo? I don't know. Let's see. Number 1, large expressive eyes that are often full of some sort of sadness, and you don't know why they're sad, but they can still smile. But there's just something about their eyes. It's so deep. Something about those eyes say, old soul, you're not from here. The suffering that you witness other people experience is not okay. Those are the kind of eyes that indigos have. And if you trigger them just right, have mercy on your soul. Have mercy on your soul. But if you trigger them just right, if you're that talented, you will see the fire. Fire. That's what you'll see. Okay? Number 2, they were born feeling and knowing they are somehow special and are here for something really great, but they don't know what it is. They're just like, what is, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I got to do something. I don't know what I'm here to do, but it's something. It's something big. It doesn't make me better. It just means I need to figure it out so I could do that job. Get that job done. Number 3, absolute authority is a no-no. No. Try telling me what to do, see what happens. That's my favorite line. Try telling me what to do, see what happens. Okay. They will rebel against it. Even to their detriment, they will rebel against it because they have their sovereignty intact, and they're just going to be like, no, you don't get to tell me what to do. You can ask me. I'd probably say yes if you ask me, but no, you're not telling me what to do. That is not being combative. That is not some sort of defiance condition, whatever the hell psychology has called it. I don't even remember what it's called, nor do I care. But no, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And most of the rules from their childhood just makes no fucking sense. I think I can beat that out. I'm hoping I can beat that out. Keeping it moving. Number 4. They feel like they're antisocial. Other people often see them as antisocial. If they're around other indigos, which I like to call the peaceful warriors, because we're peaceful warriors, then it's like, it's on. We social. We social. But other people, regular, normal people, it's hard. It's very hard. You just have this like difficult to shake feeling that you're not the same as everyone else. Again, not saying that you're superior. You just have this painful knowing that you're not the same, that you're very, very different, and most likely people will not understand you. Makes you go into yourself a lot more. Number 5, threatening them, even if it's like low-key threats, like just very. No. That's another no. Trying to emotionally manipulate, guilting them, major no. Major no. They're not going to comply. They're going to be like, you know, we're going to have to let our inner Capricorn out. Our inner Capricorn's going to have to come out. We're going to have to speak on this. We're also going to use some of our inner Aquarius. I don't know what those two terms mean, but it sounds appropriate. It sounds appropriate. Number 6, an insatiable need to find or do something that they don't even know what it is, but it's going to benefit humanity. It's going to benefit humanity, and it's going to shift the way this world functions. We're going to return back to something so beautiful, but I don't know what it is. That is number 6. Number 7. Even if a group accepts you, you just know that you're not truly part of that group. Anything outside of another group cluster of indigos, you just feel like you don't belong. And this I've found that this in particular is because we don't belong to any one group. We exist as kind of like intermediaries between the groups. We're supposed to be able to slide in between the groups and just keep it flowing. We're like lubricant. Indigos are the lube of energy. I don't know how I feel about that statement. We're going to have to sit with that for a little bit, but we're going to leave that in the video. So that was number 7. Oh, no. Yeah, no, yes. We'll figure that out. So number 8. We're usually extremely precocious as a child. We seem to grasp things at such a young age. We seem to grasp the need to be compassionate, to love, to defend, to be the voice of reason in crazy circumstance. Even at a very young age, we, as indigos, know this. We know this man. And if you're going to try and force us to fit in a box, to stay quiet as atrocities are being committed against another, you're going to see that fire. Just like that, fire shoots out. Or daggers. Out the eyes, sometimes out the mouth with our words, like just like that. So, number 9. We're very particular. Very particular. Very, very, very particular. We recognize that there's a more efficient way of doing things, a more compassionate way of doing things, and so we kind of have a tendency to stick with that. We do. Number 10. We do what's right because it's right. Not because people are watching, not because we get brownie points, not because. Only because it's right. And oftentimes we don't really want to tell other people that we've done what's right. It's just kind of, we do it because it's right. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? All right, number 11. We have a very heightened intuition. Some would say it's psychic ability. Some would call it ESP, but I digress. It is not extra sensory perception. As an indigo, you have higher capability than a normal, average human being. So it's not extra. It's actually just higher sensory perception. HSP. Higher sensory perception gives us abilities that will help to further our soul mission here on earth. We have a tendency to know exactly when someone's lying to us. Don't do it. Jesus does not like liars. Neither do indigos. So we know when people are lying. We know when people are admitting the truth. We don't always call them out on it because it's not always necessary to call people out on that, but it is always necessary for us to listen to our intuition. We got to stop with that whole struggle. Oh, don't be mean. You know they're a bungholio. You know they're a bungholio. Without knowing why, you just know this individual in front of you is a bungholio waiting for a prime opportunity to express and slather you with their bungholio energy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So, now that we've discussed the bungholio thing, we're going to move on to number 12. We're very, very strong-willed. We're extremely headstrong. We're very independent. That comes from the whole Melchizedek thing. He don't want to listen. And when I say he, I'm talking about Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael has been tasked with being the head of the Melchizedek family. That's his family line. The Melchizedek. House in the throat. Blue chakra. Throat. I'm tickling Michael right now. Just like that. Okay? So we come from Michael's lineage. He's very strong-willed. He's extremely headstrong. He's very independent. But he's very, very submissive to the will of divinity. And that's how indigos are. We are very, like, in your face. If need be, if you get in our face, we'll meet force with force. But when it comes to divinity and the will of divinity, the will of the divine, it's like, anything you want, just let me know. That's how it should be. All right, number 13. Oh, we discussed this earlier. We're typically born in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Some came a little bit early in the 1960s. Some came a little bit late in the 1990s. And it's all good. Sorry for the sounds. I had a little human being coming into the room needing to go potty. Now that that's over, we can move on. So number 14. Extremely creative, with a flair for music, jewelry making, poetry, art. It's true. We're very creative. Very, 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 very. And we're able to do quite a bit with our hands. Ooh, you know, I found that quite a few indigos are actually also very, very good cooks. They cook very well, and even though you could have a regular person cooking the same exact recipe, same exact ingredients as an indigo person, and people gravitate more towards the indigo's food because we are infusing our good, delicious juju all up in that food. Like, eat that up, boo. Eat that up, feed the soul, feed the body. We all good. Just like that. All right, number 15, prone to addictions and addictive behaviors. God, I'm so guilty of this. I'm not addicted to drugs, but I do get addicted to people. Or maybe that's a Pisces thing. I don't know. I don't care. I love me my people. There's a select group. I just love them so much. It hurts so good. But yes, we are prone to addictions and addictive behavior. And I have found that it is because as we entered into this earth plane of existence, we totally were like, what is this show? I don't know if I have the capability of beeping that out, so I'm just going to censor myself right now. We were like, this is not what we signed up for. This is insanity. And so as we were unable to connect with others in a deep way, the way we're used to on an etheric level, a soul level, that created a codependency with either substances or, I don't know, whatever you can get addicted to. It's more than just drugs. It's more than just beer. I mean, I think at one point I was addicted to makeup. Yeah, I think I was. I think I was. So just forget it. Forget it. So number 16, we're often referred to as an old soul. Because you old, boo. You old. This is not your first time around this block. You're old. We have a tendency to have people notice how we seem wise beyond our years, how we seem to be like Chanel, just classic. Energetically speaking, our energy is like some Coco Chanel. Figure that one out too. You'll get what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm trying to say. Coco Chanel. Who doesn't know Coco Chanel? Come on. Number 17. It's very, very common for us to have had multiple beings make contact with us. When I say beings, I'm not just talking about the little green men, little grays. I'm not just talking about the zetas. I'm talking about those who have passed, who have transitioned out of vessel. I'm talking about those who are of the shadow realm. I'm talking about the fairies. I'm talking about the elves. I'm talking about the angels. I'm talking about angels too. Talking about angels. It's all good. It's all good. All of that. We have a tendency to have experienced that. Seeing things that we don't understand. Tends to happen in the peripheries. Flashes of light. Shadows running, and then when you look, nothing's there. You're like, you know, and nothing's there, and you're like, am I going crazy? Tell you this, crazy people don't wonder if they're crazy. They think it's everyone else. So the fact that you're asking if you're crazy, wondering if you're crazy, means you are 100% confirmed to not be crazy. Number 18, you have a tendency to isolate, and often you experience aggressive behavior towards others when you have had enough of their bullshit. That word brings me so much joy. I don't know why. And then after you've lashed out at someone, you feel really, really bad. And you just want to be alone. And you're like, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. Because you have this very deeply rooted understanding, this deeply rooted knowing that if you really, really wanted to, you could absolutely obliterate this individual. You could say things in such a way that would tear them down in ways they could not be rebuilt. And it's, you know, that's kind of like overkill, yo. Take it easy. Take it easy. Be easy. And so that's you know, we then tend to self-isolate. We play this over and over and over in our heads, and it's like, oh, they probably haven't forgotten. I'm so embarrassed. I don't want to see them. Okay, well, you know, they're probably over it. They were probably over it a few years ago, and you're still going. You're still tripping. Stop tripping. So number 19, we often waver between low self-esteem and grandiosity, making us more likely to be diagnosed as bipolar. Well, you know what? There are two poles to every plane, positive and negative. Neither is more important or less than the other. You need to be able to experience every motion and emotion, full range of motion and emotion in this life. Okay? That's what we're here for. This is what you came for. Number 20. We're able to be very, we're able to mentally, how would I word this? We're very able at mentally multitasking, meaning we're able to take information from different sources simultaneously and still process. And, you know, the human mind, the average human mind, believes that to be a handicap, not functioning properly. So we get labels like ADHD and ADD slapped on us. Well, boo-boo, I slap back. This is a great slap back. ADHD and ADD conditions have a tendency to be an indicator that you can multidimensionally exist. How is that a handicap? No, I'm saying not a handicap. That's my slap back. Number 21, we're often prone to insomnia, restless sleep, nightmares, difficulty, fear of falling asleep. We just are. We got so much going on up in here. Yes. So number 22. Excuse me. Very commonly, we have a history of depression. Sometimes it goes so far as to actual suicidal thoughts, attempts at suicide. It's just It's deep. We feel things so deeply. I can't even be sarcastic right now. We feel things at such a deep level, and surface pains become so viscerally rooted in such deep, deep trenches within our hearts, and wounds rubbed with salt. Like, God damn. Be easy on me. And I'm talking to life. I'm not talking to a person. I'm talking to life. Be easy on me. But life just don't care. Life just don't care. And so sometimes it's very difficult for us to cope. If you are able to find someone else that's like you, find another indigo, which at this point, it's not too hard to find another indigo, especially with all this social media going on, this, commingulations of energies. Energetic groups. We're finding each other, guys. We're finding each other. And so you don't have to feel so alone. You don't have to feel so alone. As a matter of fact, I created a group. It's a membership group where I teach the energetic system that I created. Kokoro 33 is my system. Kokoro 33. Kokoro 33 is a system that was specifically designed to support indigos, crystals, rainbow children, diamond children, as well as blue rays, just, really elevated energetic beings. So in that group, you can find that on my website, emmieevolving.com. It's beautiful. There's no competition. Everyone is there in support of each other. And I suspect that every single member to date is, in fact, a very evolved soul. Either came here as indigo or was born as a rainbow or crystal child, wanting to once again remember their birthright. So you don't have to be so sad. You don't have to feel so alone. Not anymore. Not anymore. So number 23. Indigos look for real, deep, and lasting friendships, connections with other people. And it's been so difficult for so many of us to find this. Hence the suicidal thoughts and attempts. So difficult. So difficult. And I think that's going to change. I absolutely feel that's going to be changing very, very soon. So, number 24. We easily bond with plants and or animals. We just love them. They love us. They're not drama. My cat, though, one time I was live and I called him and he ran up and slapped me and then took off. And I was like, what the fuck was that for? I hope I can beep that out. We'll find out. We shall find out. But yeah, so that's the list. 24 ways to determine if you are indigo. What do you do after you figure out if you're indigo or not? Go to my next video. You'll find out. So if you haven't already subscribed, now's a good time to do that. Okay? Whatever it is, down, I see people pointing down there in their videos. So I'm going to point too. Subscribe, slap that bell, whatever else I've heard them say. Just do it. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Just do it. Down there somewhere. And if you'd like to have a private session with me, I do a lot of different kinds of energetic work. Go to my website, emmieevolving.com. Check me out on Facebook, Emmie Evolving. Check me out on Instagram, Emmie Evolving. Do it. I'm not even going to give you any other options. Just do it. We're going to enjoy this ride together forever. I know that sounded a little bit stalkerish, but it's going to be okay. You'll see. It's going to be okay. You're going to enjoy this ride with me.